tell me a little bit about your history here in Decatur. Tell me about your history as a person.
Okay, all right. So I'm born and raised here in Decatur. I have, after completing medical school and all of that, I came back to Decatur, completed my residency here in Decatur. I always had the intent of returning to Decatur. My goal as a teenager in the 8th grade, I decided that I wanted to be a physician, and I was going to work for then was WICS Clinic, and I'm going to provide services to individuals because I believe that they should have quality health care, and it shouldn't be related to how much money you make.
Okay. Where did that come from?
Okay, so it came from a conversation I had with my grandmother. Okay. Well, it's not a conversation we had. Okay. It came from me eavesdropping in on a conversation my grandmother was having with someone. Okay. And she was talking about if you don't have a certain income status or a certain ethnicity, you're not going to get the same quality health care as everyone else. And me being in the 8th grade at the time decided I'm going to fix that because that should not be the standard. Everyone should get the same type of medical care no matter where they're born or how much money they have. And so for most of my professional career, I was at WICS Clinic or Crossing Healthcare. We rebranded and got a different name, and was chief medical officer there for a great deal of that time. And really got to the place where I started wanting to do something different. And that's how I decided to open up my own practice. During this time period when I've been here in the community, I've been very involved. City council for about 10 years.
How was that experience as a woman? Being city council? I mean, at the time that you were on, there weren't many.
No, it wasn't. It was just Julie and I when I first started on city council. And we were strategically placed right across from each other. So we would often give each other looks during city council meetings. It was a good experience. I'm not going to say that none of the individuals treated me with disrespect or it was contentious or anything like that. We had a really good city council. We worked well together.
Why did you decide to run for city council? Why, as a woman in healthcare, did you decide for the city of Decatur you needed to at least try?
So that goes back to my whole reason why I came back to Decatur after completing school was, again, I wanted to give back. I didn't want to be one of those individuals that always complained about things and wasn't about the solution. So for me, I wanted to see what I could do to improve our community. And I talked to my husband and we had a long conversation about it. And we were like, why not? I mean, I had just became chief medical officer of Crossing at that time. And then part of me was wondering if I really had the capacity to do it. But we made it happen. We worked together as a team and we made it happen. And 10 years later, I finally got off. And that was just because things were increasing at work and I knew I wasn't going to have the capacity to continue to do both at the same time.
What are maybe a couple of the things that you can think of that when you were on council that you accomplished or helped accomplish that you're proud of for the community?
One of the things that I am very proud of and to be able to see it take place now is a lot of the development that's taking place along the lakefront. That has been so rewarding to see it become more of a destination spot. And that wasn't just city council by itself. That was a collaboration, of course, with the park district in order to make that happen. And then, of course, from the generosity from the Howard Buffett Foundation, we now can see the fruition of that vision. So that is something that I'm really, really proud of.
Are you proud because it gives families something to do, even, all types of families, so it's not ridiculously expensive, all types of families at all income levels can go down to the Devon or wherever and have some family time?
Correct. When we were doing the neighborhood walks when I was on city council, that was one of the things that came up, was that there wasn't enough things for young individuals to do, to participate in. And they felt like taking the bus across town or going across town was foreign. And at that time, it was surprising and it was sad that just going to somewhere in Mount Zion seemed like it was too far away for them. It wasn't attainable. So the fact that we have seen our community evolve to where that is more attainable for people in varying income status. I became a minister after I completed medical school and slowly completed training to where I am now a pastor. And the senior pastor of our church has semi-migrated south, a snowbirder. And so I have taken on more responsibilities in our ministry. And so having the opportunity to preach on just about every Sunday has been rewarding in a way different than what I do as far as practicing medicine. I look at my career progression as being able to help individuals grow, period, in a holistic manner. So as far as the spiritual aspect, the health, in my private practice, I also do wellness. So it's not just about your physical health. It's about your financial wellness. It's about your emotional and mental wellness. So we look at people from a holistic standpoint because one area will affect the other. And having the training to be a physician, I'm an executive coach and a pastor. So there's multiple areas of people's lives I'm able to touch in a positive manner.
You said this all kind of started in 8th grade. When you were in 8th grade, I don't know what year it was, but I want to know, as a young woman, as a young girl, what possessed you to think you could? Because at that time, I would think that it would be difficult, especially somebody who was African American.
You know, I don't know why I thought I could do it. One of the people who served as a mentor, you know, from a distance was Dr. Odensi, because I hadn't seen an African American medical provider in our community, and I knew of her. Even though I take that back. She did come once to a church function that we had, and she gave a talk on what it took to be a physician. And after that talk, we had a brief conversation afterwards, and it's like, that is what I want to do. I can do that. And since then, my high school career was all focused on going to college so I can become a physician. Even me joining the military, it was making sure that I had the financial resources so that I can become a physician. I received scholarships that was along that line. I mean, I was very focused, and I never thought I couldn't. I'm just going to press forward. I didn't really have a whole bunch of plan Bs or a plan C or any of that other stuff. It was, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to do.
A woman in a physician's world where obviously there are plenty now, but they were, at the time you went into it, there were a lot of nurses. They were, the background. They weren't the actual physician. Right.
And there were a lot of times when people would assume that I was a nurse when I walked in the room. And it's like, no, I'm Dr. Ray. It's nice to meet you today. My own nephew, when I was first starting off, he was like, women are nurses. Women can't be doctors. Women can be doctors. And it is totally okay. And we don't have to have those sexist views. And so it's a lot of conversations and educating people. And it was a little, I'm not going to say it was easy. It was difficult starting off with being one of the only few women as well as minorities in the medical field. But that's when you have to persevere. You get your village of people that's going to encourage you. I had several mentors along the way who I tapped into on a regular basis to get my head cleared so I can stay focused. And now I get to repay that by being other individuals' mentors. I am to see that my hard work paid off.
All right. Anything else you want to add about young girls looking to do whatever they want and might be looking to you as one of the only doctors that they see?
So one of the things that I am also doing is that I'm an executive coach. So I work with physicians, and most of the people I have been working with here lately have been women physicians. And we tend to have a lot of issues with imposter syndrome, feeling like we can't, feeling like we still have to prove ourselves, that we have earned the right to be in certain spaces and places. And my message to young girls as well as women is to own the space that you have fought to be in. You've gone to school. You've took all the hard knocks. You've come out successful. Now own it, because you deserve the right to be there. And just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're not capable. Just because you still want to have a family doesn't mean you can't have a family and a career. We can have both. And you just got to learn what those values are for you and to frame your career to where you can have that satisfaction. Not to shrink in the corner. Don't allow yourself to be minimized or devalued. Stand up tall, back straight, and just walk in the room and realize that you earned the right to be there.
Where is that going?
Oh, as far as women in positions in leadership, as far as executive roles, is booming. The sky is the limit. And truly our only limiting factor is going to be ourselves. And so it's for me, it shows where my work as an executive coach has been really important and profound, because women leave our sessions realizing, why am I saying that stuff to myself? Why am I saying all the negatives instead of stating the positives? How can I reframe what I'm telling myself so that I can achieve the goals that I have, or so that I can show up in this space the way I desire to show up and not wear labels? That has been that has been very rewarding to me, to be able to help women own the label that they create, not the label that someone else puts on them.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch more videos from News Channel 20.